ladies and gentlemen, it is start time. Are you ready for start time? Thank you, and thank you very kindly. It is indeed a great pleasure to present to you at this particular time.
It's your boy E-Dale, a.k.a. Mr. Facts, man.
That's facts.
Kick the truth to the young black youth.
That's facts. That's facts.
It's your boy E-Dale, a.k.a. Mr. Facts, man.
That's facts.
Indeed, man. Welcome to another episode of Facts. Man, it's your host, E-Dale, with his resident guest, man, Mr. Nut in the building right now, man, a.k.a. Mr. South Miami. So, look, how you doing?
Not South Miami. Not South Miami. we in North Dade, baby. We ain't South Miami.
Okay, yeah, that's right. You from North. What's that?
Yeah, we got North Dade and South Dade. No, man.
What was the street?
Opalaga bread right now. We in the city, though.
Okay. All right. Because, I used to write you to another address down there.
Yeah, it was never South Miami, though, baby.
Okay. So I'm confused about what I'm writing at. So, my bad. It's your boy E-Dale on Facts. I don't have all my facts together this morning, evidently. So, look, man, got a great topic today, man. I've been talking to a lot of people, talking to you about it. A lot of people in the community. It's about to be Black History Month, so we about to amp it up on facts a little bit. And desegregation is the topic, man. The desegregation cripple the black community. It's a lot of people out here that seem to think so. And for a lot of various reasons. And I'm just in wow of how many people share that sentiment. So, Nut, man, I got to let you go first on this topic, man. So, do you think that desegregation crippled? Do you think that it crippled the black community?
Yeah. By a long shot, man. I think that was the slickest thing that the establishment did. Was
wow.
The desegregating. Yeah, for real. I mean, shoot. Think about it, right? Just imagine if your whole life you was put in a predicament to where you had to take your money back to your house. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only place you could take your money. That's the only place you can use your talents. I mean, whether you liked it or not. And so in that environment, you kept your place intact. But as soon as they open that gate and let you run, just think about the dog, man, that get to run free for the first time. And you know what I'm saying? Got off the chain. You got to kill him to bring him back. You know what I'm saying? Like it take a hell of hot water to get him back in the yard because he ain't never been nowhere. You know what I'm saying? But while he in that yard, he protected like it's nothing. Like you just can't come in that yard. Right. You can't take nothing out. You can't do it. Right. So and that's a bad analogy to a degree, but it just what it did was it reduced the focus of what we had. See, black people, it seems like they inundated us with the whole mindset that we're so less than what we really are, that when we first got a chance to get outside of ourselves as far as our community, we thought, well, we got to go prove that we just as good as them, so we should go sit by them and go eat with them, and we forgot about our own. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and that's the basics of what happened. Like, they opened that gate, and for some strange reason, the mentality of our people wasn't strong enough to say, nah, fuck that. I don't need to go over there. No way. And so the hotels that was, it said, I don't know if you watched the movie that they made not too long ago about Malcolm X, and then he had Muhammad Ali, and I can't think of the name of it.
One Night in Miami.
Right. Okay.
I talk about that movie all the time. That's one of my favorite movies, black movies that I ever seen.
Right, and just think about how they was dealing. What's Sam Cooke was in it too, right? Where they had a guy playing Sam Cooke. Now, just imagine how they talked about Sam Cooke when he went to the white hotels. Remember that part in the movie? Instead of them chilling at the, you know what I'm saying? Instead of them chilling. Now, that's what happened with desegregation. Everybody was like, well, we could go over there, not knowing that our people have been holding us down for so long, and we took our money out of our communities and went and spit in with them people, and they watered us down.
Right. So look, let me just interject for a second, because look, I'm gonna just be honest. I look, listening to that point of view and the point of view of others, it makes sense, because at first I didn't share the sentiment. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm more of a guy like I'm thinking, you know, globalism, but you can't have globalism without with still being in your own community, spending your money in your own community, having businesses in your own community, right? Because black people, we are globalization is what I'm trying to say. So like experiencing other things, and I think that other cultures do it too. So when I look at China and I see China, the way they're moving and their culture and things like that, they don't allow outsiders to come in and run big corporations. And things like that. So when I got to look at it from a standpoint of money going back into my community, because my community, the money's not circulating in our community, in the black community. So when I looked at it from that point of view, I gotta say, man, listen, I think that I'm tending to start to agree with some of these things, man, because it was like you said, when the door was open, we felt like as black people that we gotta be. We could do what y'all do even better, to try to show y'all up and prove y'all up, but in the end, it's still not worth it, right? Because you still have to deal with all the other things that come with it, you know what I'm saying? So versus if it was your community, it'll be people that you can identify with, that are managers that look like you know what I'm saying? Supervisors that look like you know what I'm saying? While you building up your own community. So look, you know,
well, they tore down that whole process, you know, and I can't even say we have a slave mentality, because we were doing better in the 20s, 30s, and 40s than we were in the 50s and 60s, and that's just facts. Financially, with all of the with all of the inhibitions that the society around us was giving Black America, we were doing better because we were such a tight knit group. You understand? Like there were so many things better within our community in those time periods, even though we had less opportunity. You understand? Right. Because we were forced. You know, it's just like you go to the Galapagos Islands, like, and this is in nature. There are certain things that grow there that just won't grow or inhabit any part of the world, because it's such an isolated place. Right. And so there's a beauty there, and there's a genius there that comes out that just can't be had because it's been isolated for so long. And there are a lot of other places and islands across the world that are just like that. And pressure and the fact of isolation brings out ingenuity that just doesn't come out if you have, a lot of access. And that it seems like it's oxymoronic, but it's not. Right. It's just a fact. And so when we had because think about it, man, when we were forced in those situations, we were forced to have our own food, have our own hospital, have our own doctors, have our own lawyers, have our own understanding as far as how we dealt with each other, and it put us in that position. And then once they opened up that gate, and a lot of that died. Like a lot of that just went out the window. Like I said, and it's not okay. Think about it. Like I said, I love going back to the Bible. The Bible is against segregation, but it's not against separation. Right. That's just a fact. It's against segregation, but it's not against separation, meaning you deal with your people accordingly. Right. And see, we forgot about those principles once they opened that gate. Like, the dogs got out and was like, hey, man, shoot, you telling me I can touch a white bitch now? You telling me I can go eat at this restaurant? You feel me? Right. And see, it wasn't, it's not that many of us for us to branch out. You know what I'm saying? And go and think we won't get swallowed up by the system. It's only a few that was strong enough to go out there and be the spook that sat by the door. Right. You know what I'm saying? To where they went out, got taught by the masses, and then came back and brought that information back. And then most people go out there and get lost. They be the only meatball in the rice, and then they comfortable. Right. They start believing that, just like within that clip from the movie Trick Baby. Right. They really start believing that they're a part of this society and they're accepted. Like what? Go ahead.
An example, a person like Candace Owens, will she be like one of the people that, you know what I'm saying? You could describe him like the meatball that's the one meatball in the rice, like a person like her.
Of course, because listen,
I'm only asking that because look, I want the viewers, the people that do listen to this, to kind of at least understand where we're going. And this conversation is actually, we do some thought out conversations. We don't just come up here and just start talking and spewing out, just crazy stuff for no reason. We want them to know that we're trying to make it make sense to them.
Well, see, listen, the problem with Candace Owens is, right, she comes off as if she's fighting for black culture in a conservative stance as far as what we doing. But when she her constituents are all white, her friends are all white, her husband is white. Fine, love who you love, do what you do. But don't come back under that circumstance telling me you for black people. Somewhere along the line, it seems you got lost. I'm not against everything she says. You understand what I'm saying? Some of the things she says are actually factual, true, and to the point. But her stance and who she is and the other things that she says that's inflammatory, that goes with the base of the people that actually hate us, she's dancing that line. She's trying to play that. She, you know what I'm saying? She wants to keep that. She can't be Oprah. Oprah's the king of white women. She's dancing that line and trying to be accepted by the king of white people. You know what I'm saying? And once they got her over there, it's pretty much lost. So she has a small black conservative base that will follow and eat her shit. And then she has a larger white base, period.
So
eats all of her shit.
So it's safe to say what she's saying and what she's representing, and what we're talking about today. Can we honestly say that desegregation played a part in that? You know what I'm saying? Because that's the conversation, right? That what we're describing, how her attitude, her thought process, like her friends, how she somewhere along the lines, it got miscued. And could we blame that? Not fully due to desegregation, but partially we can blame that on desegregation, right? I mean, would it be safe to do that?
I don't know, man, because, okay, like there's another guy, Thomas Sowell, right? He's an economist, right? Mm-hmm. Thomas Sowell is an economist. He has the same mind frame as Candace Owens, and then what's that sheriff, David Clark, like all of these, Oreos, you feel me?
Right. But
Thomas Sowell will give you a bunch of facts, but he will give the facts and state them without causation back in the facts. Right. Because you need to tell me how, within this equation, I got this answer. Don't just tell me the equation and the answer. If you don't explain it to me, I still don't know how to solve the problem. You know what I'm saying?
Because no one wants to talk about how we got to that point. No one wants to talk about how it got to that.
Right. You can memorize a way of doing something. That doesn't mean you know how to do it. Somebody, you understand what I'm saying? It's a difference. Definitely. It's a huge difference. And so that, and with Candace Owens, if you ever listen to her, or listen to how she came to that conclusion of why she is who she is today. And it's funny because she had an issue, and then the NAACP came and saved her. Some white boys was calling her all out her name, and like it was a weird situation. And she got accused of something. How did it go? I might be misconstruing it, but it was a thing that she got saved by the NAACP when she was younger. Now she's against all of that type of. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's just weird. Like I don't understand these people. Right, and so if probably I would assume, because if within our system back then, like, come on, I was one of the last generations that could get your ass whooped by the neighbor.
Yeah, for real.
Like I think, and that's because we trusted each other then. And then the drugs got in the way, and then, you know what I'm saying, that shit died. But I could remember the neighbor still could whoop my ass. Right. Like I could go down the block to a certain level, and that neighbor that knew my mama's mama, since they all moved into the neighborhood together, could make a phone call and tell him, hey, I just beat your grandson ass for such and such and such and such. And when I got back home, I'm going to get another ass whooping for them having to be.
Listen, I don't even like to be reminded of that. I'm sitting over here shaking my head and still holding my backside right now, like, damn, my grandma may show up. You know what I mean? You know what
right. Yeah, and that's the sense of community. But all of that died from the standpoint of desegregation because we all thought that we had to go prove that we were better. And you know what I'm saying? That, well, okay, now we, and see, and on one hand, you got to, and I can't knock the full thought of it because I listened to some of the elders. Some of the elders was like, listen, this is our duty. We have to go show up. We have to go sit there. And to a degree, I understand it, but then no, we don't.
Wow.
No, we don't. No, as time has been the best teller of the truth, and as time is led on now, it seems that was a bad idea. Yeah. That was a truly bad idea because think about all the cultures that come to America. The Chinese culture, they don't feel like they gotta go do none of that shit.
Right.
Them white boys do. They so tightly knit, and who they are, it's not funny.
Right.
Like in Chinatown, you're not finna go open no soul food restaurant in China. Shit's not gonna happen. They can give a damn about your chitlins and your collard greens and all this other shit. They're not gonna let you do it. You feel what I'm saying? Because their culture and who they are is so important to stay intact. They're not gonna let that shit be disrupted. You understand what I'm saying?
So how do black people get back to that? How do we get back to that? What you described about the Chinese, because you're right. So how do we get back to that? Like as a black community, how do we start to put our lives and our communities in perspective to the point where we're living like that and we're caring about our community to build those businesses? I mean, really,
I have a diastopic view. You know what I'm saying? My view is fucked up. Like, if you asking me, this shit is hopeless. You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm asking because sometimes it actually feels that way. Sometimes it actually feels like because it is really work trying to repair a community that's lost. You know what I'm saying? Like that's going through, I wouldn't say, well, somewhat lost, but just going through it and has, it's almost like our community, we don't even want our community no more. You know what I'm saying? We won't even attempt to try and build it up. You know what I'm saying? Or fix it up or do things ourselves in that community.
Man, so, I'll be honest, man. I think we got too many options, bro.
Right.
We have too many options, too many voices. We have there's so much information and misinformation, and then you coming from a standpoint to where there's no solid found. Like I said, you got the Candace Owens on one side, you got Thomas Owens on one side, then you have you got Dr. Clyde Anderson on the other side, like, and then you know, if you don't. There's so much information out there that's being balanced off, and then depending on, it's a lot of smart people that's really stupid. Right. And so when you give, you know what I'm saying, and when you give those, there's a lot of smart people with no wisdom, and when you get people, because I've seen a lot of young people listening to Thomas Sowell, like they listening to this cat, and when he says what he says, and they're not thinking, okay, he's not bringing causation into a lot of this. And then they're like, yo, man, you know, he's right. And so they're pushing them to this narrow-minded conservative view. Right. And so you start building. What's the senator, man? The black senator from South Carolina. I can't think of his name. Oh man, bruh, that dude is disgusting.
Is it a young guy? Are you talking about the young guy?
He's not really that young, but it's a couple guys that's out there right now, man. It's just. Bruh, they gross. Like, they're gross. Like, they really, bruh, it's let me look this man's name up. So he running around with Lindsey Graham, and then when the voting rights thing came out, yeah, man, and bruh, like, a lot of these cats, and you thinking like, man, how bad do you want to be a part of the establishment that you will forget everything that your color has been through? And not just putting them just solely on the color, but man, listen, when in Rome, you have to move as the Romans move. And until colorism is wiped out of America, we have to understand that's the way America thinks. Now,
right.
Everybody can say, well, you have to change the way you think, so colorism, nah, I can't do that right now. What's in front of me right now is the fact that they still calling me. They still gonna kill me because I am a nigga. You feel what I'm saying? They still gonna throw shit under the rug because they think I'm a nigga. You understand what? So that being the case, I can't just today pretend like the nigga don't exist.
Right.
The nigga exists, the people that hate niggas exist, and I have to be aware of that. Right. The Candace Owenses of the world and the rest of these people believe that it doesn't matter, and you just gotta just wipe that shit away. No, you can't do that.
And listen, I agree with you. I agree with you because I had that said to me recently. Let me just say that I had that said to me recently. It was won't you just forget about it? You didn't go through slavery, and I'm like, we don't tell the Jews to not forget what they went through. You know what I'm saying? We don't hear that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, look, why should I forget? You know what I'm saying? You know what my people and my family been through, right? Because I still feel it in my blood, in my spirit, in my soul, in my heart. You know what I'm saying? When I'm around you, you know what I'm saying? I just know you looking at me a certain way. You feel a certain way, you know what I'm saying? About me, I can tell it in your smirk in your face. You know what I'm saying? You know, those type of things. Don't know for real. I mean, because black people are always told that by white people, man. I mean, y'all just can't forget about that and move on. But I'm still telling them, look, it's just here recently that we were just able to vote within the last 50 years. And you guys are 50-something, 60 years old. And I know for certain that you guys grew up when there was segregation. You know what I'm saying? So if your view and your mindset hasn't changed, you know what I'm saying, since then, I mean, you're still stuck on that. That's your view on life. You know what I mean? That's just how you see me. So I can never forget, you know what I'm saying, that what happened to my people.
And bro, you're not wrong in that whole thought process. Because listen, I asked a lot of these people, all of these racist senators and governors from the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, where are their children? Right. Where are their children? You telling me at the dinner table, if they were saying, fuck these niggas in public, you telling me at the dinner table they wouldn't really say, hey, boy, if I could just kill all these things.
Yeah. Well, look, I recently had someone tell me that as well, a white person, that they family members said, you know what I mean, but they didn't believe it. They heard it growing up, but they didn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, damn.
Well, listen, and what I'm saying is the ones that don't, because, I mean, there are some that fall away from, from the pack, and don't actually swallow up the vitriol bullshit that their people, spit and try to indoctrinate.
Right, because I have some good white friends.
Right, but for the most part now, we can just assume for the better half and most likely true that Junior followed Papa. Right. And then, you know what I'm saying, his children are following their Papa. And so they're passing that bullshit down, so it doesn't necessarily wash away. But what does happen is it just goes in a different direction from being overt to covert. So, like I looked up Strom Thurmond's children. Strom Thurmond was a Democrat. Everybody should understand that the Democratic Party really was the party of slavery. That's just a fact. And then, you switch over, and now all the Democrats that was from those times are Republican now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I mean,
they want me back in the cotton field. They want me back in the cotton field.
Man, listen, it's nothing has really changed. Nothing is different. Both parties have the same people in it. Right. But if we would have kept our mind state together and just realized that, listen, we're going to be a subset of America, and we would do better off if we stay together versus because once they split us up, bro, that was it. And once you can divide a people, a nation, anything, once you can divide it, you can conquer it. And so, like you asked earlier, what do I think that could fix this? I don't know. Like I say, the only place we're really forced to be together is the project.
Ooh, yes,
you're right. And then the mentality in the project is, first of all, is low income, is not, and I do mean the thought process is low income. Because there are no programs, there are no programs in the project that's really pushing people to get them out of there. There's nothing coming in there showing them a better way, a better thing. And all they do is get them the little bird feed that's there, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And most people don't understand because access is what brings you to a place of, okay, I can do this. Right. If you can see it, then you can believe in it, then you can achieve it. So if all you see is the bullshit that's around you each and every day and there's nothing being brought, you know what I'm saying, as far as, because if you don't have a doctor or a lawyer in your neighborhood, you don't have anybody that's showing you how to work stocks, how to get into real estate, how to do this, how to do that. You know what I'm saying? You only gonna go for what you know. That's why most motherfuckers think, oh man, I'm gonna get me a good job. I'm gonna go be it. And not saying there's nothing wrong with being a bus driver or, you know what I'm saying, a plumber or something like that. But we think that those are, you know, that's top echelon shit. Because those are most of the, you know, we get the hands-on jobs. You know, we get those type of, and it's so much more out there that if we got exposed to it and that it, you know, we would grasp onto it. But in that same aspect, man, nah, bro, we would be way better off, you know, alone.
Well, look, I'm just saying, I'm not gonna argue against that, man, because I did kind of fight against that with another one of my guys that I kick it with, and I'm hoping to get him on the show one day, man. He talked that, you know, that talk, but I mean, you know, sometimes he kind of go, you know, left on me, and I'm like, hey, man, I don't know, you know, about that right there, but look, I do get it, you know what I'm saying? I do understand why people feel this way, and it's just the fact that the community is divided, and it is conquering, hence, you see what they call, what do you call it when they're going through there fixing up the houses in the black community, tearing them down? Regentrification, you know what I'm saying? So all it is just to move the rent up and keep you out. So you can't go back. Now you don't have anything, you know what I'm saying? And I keep telling black people, man, you need to protect your community, the community that you have. You need to take a stance in it and keep it. I mean, really take a look around, because look, when they get ready to regentrify your whole community, which they want, because now they know that that land is very, very valuable to them and to the plans that they have in the future, 50, 100 years down the road. And that's why I'm just telling people in my community, man, just wake up. I mean, actually look at what's going on around you. Actually see that. Look at your streets and still. No one's coming to fix it up for you. No one's coming to help it for you. They're going to take it from under you. You know what I'm saying? They're going to regentrify, make you feel good about them doing that. And then when it's done and the paperwork is all done and you can't get back into your neighborhood, move back because you don't have the requisite skills to get this certain job or a certain position. You didn't take care of your community. You didn't hold it down. I tell my people, hold it down, man. Hold it down in your community.
Man, that's like I say, man, I love going back to the Bible because the parable of the talents is so true. Right. See, people think because they living in them projects or they living in this area, it don't matter, it don't mean nothing. So, you know, they quick to throw the trash. Like your boy Big Guilt, he say, man, I come out the store, you take your candy wrap out the pay, you pull your bottle, you pull your liquor out to your dead homie, but then you throw the bottle right at him.
Right.
You say, man, I'm tired of seeing this shit, man. We fucking up our own hood. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Big Guilt said that, and it was the truest shit.
Right.
If you take pride in what you have and you turn that one penny into two, no matter how long it might take, you'll build something. You feel what I'm saying? And people think that little bit is not enough, like it's nothing.
Right.
And that's the first thought of mentality is really trying to grow what you have. You understand what I'm saying? Like my good friend who's my property manager, man, she's been managing property in medium income areas, low income areas. And in the low income areas, she's disgusted by a lot of shit that she sees.
Right.
A lot of these people when they because they're so comfortable, I won't even say dependent. They're so comfortable on the fact that they got a ride. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why the parable of the talents is so important. Right. They're so comfortable that they have a ride that, okay, if they go get a job, they start taking more money from them for rent. Like it's the amount of income they make is proportional to how much assistance that they get. So if they start getting a certain amount of money, then they start taking money out their check. Now, it's kind of like it was at a point that my pastor said, and I was ignorant at this time. My pastor said to me, she was like, man, I wish my tithes would grow up. And I was thinking, why would you do that? And then I had to think about it. Oh, yeah, I do wish it go up. You know what I'm saying? Because if it goes up, that means I'm making more money.
Right.
And if I'm making more money, that means I can pay more tithes, which means I'm getting bread. And so people, they start feeling like if they make more money, they're going to take more money from them. Well, that's what you hope they would do so you can get the fuck from around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You can make more money. I get it.
Right. You feel what I'm saying? And it's just a weird process. And then, and in a sense, it would seem like it's keeping you down, but if you actually work it to your advantage and you just take the sacrifice, man, you'll get the fuck up out of there and you won't have to worry about it. I don't want them people money.
Right.
I don't want shit they got. I want my own bread.
Right.
I'm not looking for nothing from the government on a retirement check, bro. And I'm going to get one still because I worked that 20 years for these motherfuckers.
Right.
But
right.
I want my own shit just in case they fucking collapse.
Right. Right. Exactly.
And we gotta get that mentality. And once they open that gate, man, and they started giving these little peanuts, man, for fucking,
right.
for bullshit, we started taking that like, man, this is that ain't what's up.
Yeah, because I hate to even hear that, even from people around that I work with, when they even talk about stuff like that. People want to take handouts, and I had to make the mention. I said, no, people just found out through COVID another way to live, that they don't really need you. They don't need to be in here working for you for pennies, and you talking to them and treating them any kind of way. They overworked and underpaid. I said, people just figured out starting small businesses, starting all these things. I said, if you go looking at right now today, COVID has produced more small business owners than it has in a long time. I said, some people may have gotten their money, did whatever they did with it. People are figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? And I told them, I had to tell them, I said, you know what I told them? I said, I'm in the process of figuring it out myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get my own stuff so I can have my own things, so I can tend to my own business instead of tending to your business. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You're not going to pay me for tending your business. And you know what I'm saying? So, and that's just where I'm at with it. So, I'm only at this crossroads, and I talk like this and talk to even on my other podcasts as well, because I feel like sometimes I have to defend my community. I can't let people talk about my community, and they ain't specifically saying it, but I know they're saying it, and I have to let them know that I know what you're saying, and that's not true. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
And look, I think that if we sit back and we allow people to say things to us, and we're willing just to not challenge them on what their philosophies or their views are in life, because I'm a big believer in your view in life. No matter what you do, how you teach, train, coach, that view is going to be in that. You can't hide that. You know what I'm saying? It's going to show up in how you train, teach, and that's why I preach even to my company. It's important for you to have managers, diverse managers, a Latino manager, a black manager. You need someone here that the people can relate to, can recognize. You know what I'm saying? So they're not coming to talk to you. They're not going to come and talk to you. You know what I'm saying? So the best way to do that and to get more productivity from your workers, you know what I mean, to make them the workplace environment more comfortable, safe, and friendly for everyone. So
well, I gotta. This is my thing, right? See, there has to be accountability on both sides. You understand what I'm saying? Like, first of all, a lot of our people, and I'm gonna just be honest across the board. Some of us are cool with mediocre. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of like I say, and we have to get out of that mediocre mentality.
Exactly.
Like a lot of like I say. And so within that, like I'm with equal opportunity, but I don't believe in equal outcome.
Right. I don't believe in that. But see, I don't believe in that as well. I know that to be true. But I'm only saying because I know that, and because I believe that equal opportunity outcomes aren't the same. And because I believe that, that's why I always stress the fact that because of that, that's why you need people in places. If you're going to have it here, you're going to have people here, you're going to have them workers, that at least diversify your management as well so they can have someone to identify with. That's my whole thing about it, my whole philosophy and view. Because there are certain things that you don't know. We're at a disadvantage, both of us, culturally, for one. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you and I can relate. You know what I'm saying, to each other, and you can, and it's evident in our conversations. So I'm saying that in order to break that disconnect, in order to try to bridge at least that divide, why don't you get someone here that can identify with this group, as identify with that group, right? Because you're hiring different people, and not only that, the employee atmosphere is changing. It's growing more diverse. People from other places are moving into cities and towns, filling it up, flooding it up. You know what I'm saying? And these things are happening all over America. So I'm just saying, look, we know that you don't love what we love and all those things, and I get it. So and that's why I say, when thinking about that and listening to you and a lot of other people in the community about desegregation, I do think there's a lot of fact to that. That's why I can't argue it. I can't sit here and completely argue that desegregation didn't cripple the black community. I can say it didn't cripple me to a point because my philosophies and my views were different up until recently, you know what I'm saying, to the last 5 or 10 years, you know what I'm saying? And I'm finna be 43. So I get all the I get everything that I've been listening to, been hearing people out. listening to, because I had even somebody told me, man, look, you trying to view life like a white man. You know,
What?
that's what I've been told. You know what I'm saying? I've been told I've been trying to dress like a white man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, hold up now, you know what I mean? But really, and then sometimes I like to dress nice, but then sometimes I like to dress nice, like, you know, like my hood nice, with my nice sweaters and my wallabies, you know what I mean? You know, just,
Man, we got our own, we got soul in whatever we do. You understand what I'm saying? And so what people don't understand, and see, I think a lot of our people are lost in because it's kind of a weird thing, man. You understand what I'm saying? Because you can. To me, it's just like, okay, if a conquering force comes in, right, and we kick them out later, and they brought some good things with them. Like, say, for instance, if you go into a country, if we was a conquering force, and we brought him to this country, like, indoor plumbing, you know what I'm saying, right. Hot water, like shit that they didn't have, and then they kick us out. They would be fools to make us, to kick out the indoor plumbing and the hot water.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That would be foolish. So yeah, I would never say, you know, like if there were things that were brought in that were for the betterment of a society, to get rid of that. If there were some ideas that would make this shit a little better, man, incorporate that. Like I believe, man, that if you found an idea that would help you out, man, I mean, keep it. It would be foolish for another country, man, to discover the atomic bomb and every other country around you has it and you don't get it too. Right. That would be absolutely absurd because now you're at a deep disadvantage. Now you lack a thing that would help you survive just in case they wanted to get foolish and you could get foolish first.
Right.
And take care of yourself. You feel what I'm saying? So some people just don't understand, like, your mind can't be so close to ideas that would actually help you grow. But when you lose your identity of self and soul, now that's the problem. So when people come with that idea of, it's just like when man, you know how many hood niggas that speak proper, that they actually enunciate all of their words, and then they you know what they but I'm just saying, just think about that. They have the soul of who we are. They just speak proper. That don't make them no less of a black person.
Right.
And see, our mentality has to change as far as how we look at that. So whoever said that to you, they ignorant on 1,000 different levels. They have to open their mind. You feel what I'm saying? Like they really have to. They have to expand. First of all, they have to look. Okay, is his soul intact? You feel me? Is his swagger right? So what you put on that? And if all of those things line up, then what the hell are they talking about? You feel me? So what you grab a skateboard, you gonna throw some funk on it that didn't have funk on it before.
You know, of course,
like a lot of things that we touch, that when we get into the atmosphere, we bring it back to the hood. We do it the way we do it.
Right.
Let's just be honest. Like when you think of curry, you think of Jamaican, right?
No question.
But the fact is, curry is not Jamaican. Curry is Indian. No, that's a fact.
Yeah,
curry ain't Jamaican.
Right.
If you most Jamaicans don't know this, but curry comes from India. That import came with the Indians when the British brought them into Jamaica. Mm-hmm. But when you think about Jamaicans, the first thing you think about is jerk chicken, curry chicken, all this.
Right.
But that is based out of India.
Right.
But they made it their own to the point that shit, you think it's Jamaican. But damn it, not.
Right. And India don't care. We just want to. India don't care. They just want y'all to keep importing their export. They good.
Well, to be honest, it was just a cultural thing that was brought over with them. It wasn't even the fact that it was
I'm just saying, like right now today, they don't give a damn because they think you equate curry to Jamaicans. Yeah, they don't give a damn.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like the mentality of everybody around that doesn't understand that. You would think that that's naturally a Jamaican thing, but it's not. The Jamaicans had it for so long, you think it's Jamaican.
Shit, hell,
you feel what I'm saying?
Hell, I was fooled too.
Right. So,
shit,
right, but it's not. That curry comes from India. It was brought in with the culture of the Indians when the British imported the Indian workers to the islands and all that type of shit. But it's been there so long, and the Jamaicans started using it that when they came to America and everything they used was with curry this and curry that. Right. You believe that this shit was a black Jamaican Caribbean thing. Wait, it's not.
Hey man, I think you'll you'll make the perfect black history teacher, bro.
No, I don't know enough.
Straight up, come on, man. Listen, it don't matter, but
I don't know enough, bro.
But you got the information at your disposal. You know what I mean? So you'll be able to get it and break it down. The information. I go to college, but still, when I go in to get a new job or something, they want to train me. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you got a point.
So,
that is so
they
true.
still want to train me. They ain't gonna just throw me in there and say, "Hey, go ahead and have at it." You know what I mean?
That is so true. Listen, because I make mistakes. Like, okay, I said, and let me clean this up, just in case anybody decides to go through prior episodes. I said Fannie Lou Hamer was a senator. Now, that was a Freudian slip. Fannie Lou Hamer wasn't a senator. She started the Democratic She was a civil rights activist, and she started the Let me look this up real quick just to get my shit together.
Yeah, because we got about 4 minutes left. You know what I'm saying? We maybe need to do it on the next show.
I gotta fix that because I don't being wrong. I don't mind being wrong,
right.
But I don't mind fixing my wrongs either.
Right.
Yeah,
so
I said Fannie Lou Hamer was a female and a black activist from back in the day, and I said she was a senator. She wasn't a senator, but she sat in front of Senate committees. That's what I should have said, and that's probably what I meant to say. Let me just go clean that up. Somebody gonna say, man, fuck up, whatever. But yeah, Fannie Lou Hamer was a civil rights activist back in the day, and she was true. So I messed up on saying that, and so that's why I say, nah, I'm not down.
Still, you going in there with your outline, what you're teaching for the year anyway. So you're gonna have that together anyway. By the time you even get to it, you're gonna have what you need. You know what I'm saying? So man, look, don't shy away from that history moment, man. I think you'll be great at that, man. You know what I mean? You kick some good knowledge, bro, for real. I mean, because I'm telling you, on this desegregation thing, man, I'm telling you, I was just like weighing it in the middle. I'm like, because me personally, I was thinking about the children. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about the kids growing up, being raised, you know what I mean? No matter what community they from, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I don't know, you know what I mean? But I do see why people say that and they do have a valid point, and they do have a reason to feel that way, you know what I'm saying? And it's evident, you know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. I'm just setting the record straight, with all the people that I had conversations with about this, you know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Yeah, I get it. I get it now, you know what I'm saying? So,
right.
And it's not like it took me forever, because I'm kind of stubborn as well. So, but it did.
Right.
You know what? Thinking about it, man, it makes sense because we don't have dollar value. We don't have currency circulating throughout.
Yeah, we don't have enough. Well, it broke up so much. Like it put pauses and stops on a lot of things. You see what I'm saying? And it brought us into their establishment, right. Just like Martin Luther King said in that book. What's the name of this damn book? It's the last book that he wrote. I can't think of it now. But in the last book that he wrote, what he said was, one of his quotes was, I think we're integrating into a burning building. Mm-hmm. Which means this shit is no good and we're going into this. Like, we're not ready to integrate. We're not ready to go in with, because we don't have it together and y'all don't want us to have it together. We're forcing this dynamic on a people that don't want it. Right. Like, so, that's, and so it's like, I want you in my house, but I just imagine that you've been in circumstances where people don't really want you there, but you in anyway. Mm-hmm. And so when they pass you, they throw it to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, the food flying all over the floor, you get a little bit of this and a little bit of that, because they really don't want you here.
Right.
So you're getting cheated out of it, but you're allowed at the table, but you don't. They're not treating you the way you should be treated, because you pretty much forced your way into a place that you don't really belong.
And that's the way they see it today as well. They view that just like that, So that mentality is real. I've witnessed it and experienced it. I mean, and I hate to say that, but that mentality and that view is definitely real.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
it's definitely true.
Yeah, but that's what's up, man. I'm glad to have you on the show today, man. While it's time winding down on the show, man. It's your boy E. Dale, man, on facts, man. Desegregation, man, crippled the black community to some extent. I do agree. Such as Nut and other people and that share that same sentiment, man. It's real out here. Keep grinding, stay working, stay committed. Put your hands in your community, work in your community. Try to keep your community and build that up, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I say today, man. On facts. So until next time, man. It's your boy E. Dale and my co-host Nut.
Yo.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is start time. Are you ready for start time? Thank you, and thank you very kindly. It is indeed a great pleasure to present to you at this particular time.
It's your boy E. Dale, a.k.a. Mr. Facts, man.
That's facts.
Kick the truth to the young black youth.
That's facts. That's facts.
It's your boy E. Dale, a.k.a.